It's Thursday night in Salt Lake City, and you are watching Devotion Championship Wrestling. Thanks for joining us, whether you're watching our premiere on Fight TV or on demand on YouTube. Thanks for bringing us into your homes. I'm the Cicerone, Lauren Gardner calling the action. On this episode of Wrestling at the Gateway, it is a tag-centric night. First, as the Prophets of Destruction take on Otto Von Clutch and Brother Austin. And in our main event, spilling over from last week's episode, William Cutting and Steele will be going up against Josh Glade and Lola. But it appears that Antifa is coming out to the ring now. Last week, Monster 9 was scheduled for a singles bout against Chongo. The match was going along just fine until Andrew Sowell and Echo entered the fray, and they started to try and deliver a beatdown to Chongo. Chongo, of course, left the ring, came back with a chair, and in a true Sowell moment, Andrew Sowell threw Echo into the line of fire just as Chongo was coming down with the chair, and the chair broke right against Echo's head. There's no doubt Sowell has got something to say about what happened last week.
Chongo! You think you're tough? You think you're a badass? You are nothing more than, like all these other people out here, you're a sheeple.
The devoted faithful are many things. Sheeple is not one of them, Andrew Sowell.
You want to prove you're tough? Where we come from! We find out another way to be tough. And that is for you to come out here and die!
An invitation that no sane person would ever take.
We're gonna have a good old-fashioned street fight! Us versus you!
I'm getting the nod from management right now. Yes, this is gonna happen, folks. A handicapped street fight, though kind of a misnomer because anything goes in a street fight. Management has given their seal of approval, and out to the ring comes Chongo, well prepared indeed, with a chair on his shoulder. Of course, reminiscent of what happened last week. I'm sure Echo might be a little gun-shy when it comes to Chongo and a chair. Just like last week, apparently, Chongo having a full force of fans in attendance. I can barely even hear myself talk. They are so elated with the presence of the Mad Showman. And mad he might just be, folks. I don't know if this is an invitation, as I said earlier, any sane athlete would openly accept. But here he is, Chongo. Ref Izzy coming out to the ring to officiate, well, essentially just who will be the winner, because it's a street fight, folks. Anything goes. What gift could Chongo possibly have for Monster 9? We're about to find out. Thanks for joining us, folks. This street fight is underway. Chongo tossing the chair over to Monster 9. Oh, punching the chair. And calling a classic punchline. But now Echo with a chair, looking to deliver some payback from last week as we saw the chair broken across Echo's head. With Sowell calling the shot, here comes Echo. Oh my goodness! Chongo dodges, and Echo got a full piece of the ring post, only for it to ricochet back and smack that head again. Chongo has outsmarted the numbers game, and now it is just he and Andrew Sowell who goes down with a clothesline. Chongo again picks up the chair, now using it to hold Sowell down. Goes for the pin, two. That's it, folks. Chongo using his smarts against the numbers game and wins the street fight with a pinfall on Andrew Sowell. Sowell, a classic Sowellian reaction. I don't even know what to say at this point, folks, because what else would you expect from Andy. And I guess this is the numbers game that so well uses to his advantage. Not in the sense of winning anything, but improving a point. Oh, this guy. That's Filter's music. Is Filter here? We haven't seen Filter. There he is. We haven't seen Filter since he helped Marlon Bishop usurp the DCW championship, and that was months ago. He steps into the ring, and quickly, Andifa clears out. Filter is one who is only ever willing to help himself or to help anyone in the terms of bettering his own position. What possibly could he earn or could he gain from helping Chongo? Chongo looks as perplexed as I am. No doubt he must be grateful, because I didn't see that beatdown from Andifa stopping anytime soon. More to come, I am sure, as things develop here. Folks, our next match between Otto Von Clutch, Brother Austin, and the Prophets of Destruction. Let's look at what happened last week that set the stage for tonight's bout.
The following contest is a gauntlet match for the Devotion Championship Wrestling Core Championship.
Essentially, it's sudden death for Brother Austin. He must eliminate all three of his challengers to even maintain his title.
His first opponent, MK!
The bell has sounded. Austin dodges a right hook from Robles, goes for the roll-up. 1, 2, that's the first elimination.
Tombstone Judas!
Tombstone feeling extremely confident, going to the top rope to deliver his 30 pieces of silver. Austin drops to his knees, not able to connect with the 30 pieces of silver. Instead, Brother Austin capitalizes on the misfortune. Chatwin throws Austin off the ropes and puts Austin down.
You made me do this! You didn't care about me! I made you!
He's looking for a stunner, but is repelled by Austin, and now delivers the rear bottom! Come on, this is MK just sprayed official in the eyes with hand sanitizer. Tombstone Judas taking out his own indulgences on Austin. MK now with the Core Championship lays it. Oh no, come on, no. Oh! That's just disrespectful. Wait a second. Otto Von Clutch clears the ring. An extremely long background behind OTTO and Tombstone. I love you, brother, he says. That's what DCW is all about.
Judas! You forgot about me! Didn't you? Huh. For months, you tried to deny it. But it was true all along. I am your blood. Huh. But guess what?
What?
He got in my head, and I had to walk away just to clear my head. But guess what, Father? Your boys tonight, Brother Austin, Otto Von Clutch. We're coming home for you, Dad. Yeah, brah. Get down.
We are in the good hands of Ref Ian, who has called for the bell. It has sounded. Tombstone Judas starting out for the Prophets of Destruction and Brother Austin for his team. However, Tombstone Judas wants a piece of Otto Von Clutch. Now, those of you who may not be familiar, Otto Von Clutch is Tombstone's biological son, and in classic Tombstone fashion, asks for something and then refuses it upon its arrival and tags in Brother Chatwin. But like I was saying, in 2019, Otto Von Clutch accused Tombstone of being his biological father. There was a lot that went into this, including a DNA test, and at the end of the day, Tombstone is the father, to quote one Mari Povich. You can see that development and so much more on our archive section of the YouTube channel. Now, Brother Chatwin and Otto Von Clutch into a collar and elbow tie-up. Otto Von Clutch gets the better and goes into a clinched on tight, side headlock. Now into a takeover, still on with that headlock, spins around, sits out with his hips out. Now, with a face press down on Chatwin, he goes up and does a little dance in celebration. He's calling for the Bigfoot and delivers it right to the jaw. He's not finished, dropping down on Chatwin's knee. Now dragging Chatwin over to his corner, tags in Brother Austin. It was such a sickening display that the Prophets of Destruction put on last week. Brother Austin has got some definite payback that's well worth more than just his 10%. MK not happy with the quick advantage that Brother Austin has gained by employing his different variations of his prayer chops. Now with a jumping knee, he goes for the cover. 2. Chatwin still in the game, kicks out at 2, but there's been a lot of damage that he has sustained from the hands of both Otto Von Clutch and Brother Austin. Now it is down to ground and pound. And as Austin is forced to take his foot off the accelerator, Chatwin uses this opportunity to tag in Tombstone Judas. Judas now going up to the top rope and comes down with an Iscariot elbow. And while our referee is dealing with an extremely emotional Otto Von Clutch, Tombstone Judas is now focusing on the elbow of Brother Austin, not finished yet, raining down with multiple dropped knees into his elbow, a very vulnerable joint in grappling. The Prophets of Destruction showing the advantage that a team that has worked together multiple times has in understanding quick tags and when someone needs to tag in. And of course, they have the MK advantage. To quote one Ben Kenobi, you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than you will around Matthew Robles. And with the damage done now, Brother Chatwin swoops in, sets up a single-arm DDT, continuing the damage that was done by Tombstone Judas. Austin trying to get the tag. Chatwin's not going to let it happen and continues now, working up the arm into the shoulder, right up against that long thoracic nerve. I can only imagine the pain that Austin is enduring. He does, however, shed the knee press, but Chatwin comes back with a full-on choke. For this match to continue, it's imperative Brother Austin gets some separation and a tag. Pulled up to his knees, discharges a jawbreaker, and this is where he needs to get the tag. Not go on the offense, because this will happen! A DDT puts Austin flat on his back, far from a tag and any sort of sucker. But is Chatwin exhausted? Is all the gas gone from Chatwin's tank? As the devoted faithful rally around Brother Austin, Chatwin realizes the time to act is now. With a lateral knee armbar, he continues to work on that shoulder. Using his knee to apply pressure on the axillary nerve, Austin is able to get to his feet, brings down Chatwin with an arm drag, and now go for the tag. They both do. Chatwin makes the tag, Austin makes the tag, and now it's time to see some growing pains with the big foot, and a second from Von Clutch. Von Clutch notoriously strong and dangerous with his leg strikes. Judas is feeling how painfully dangerous they can be. Von Clutch clearly working out some issues with his birth father. As Von Clutch yells at a apparently knocked out Tombstone Judas, Tombstone Judas's wife has climbed onto the ring. She's saying that Tombstone is sorry.
He was never there for us! He was never there! You can't get in the ring! She can get in the ring all she wants, you shut up! Hey, you don't tell me how to do my job!
Ref Ian letting Tombstone's wife know that she doesn't belong in the ring.
He should not be wrestling no more! I love you. You're the best stepmom and you need to listen.
We love you and we're sorry, she says. Wow, folks. There's nothing that you can't work out with an apology, honesty, and a good hug. Von Clutch now hovering above Tombstone, having words, giving him a long overdue what for. But, oh no, no! A shot below the equator to an unsuspecting Otto Von Clutch.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner as a result of a disqualification, Brother Austin and Otto Von Clutch.
Apparently, Tombstone's familial ties are as weak as the seams in MK's Canal Street Gucci. Referee Ian doing his best to try and get, oh, come on! What did Ref Ian do to anyone? Brother Austin still laying on the apron, and Otto Von Clutch is left to fend for himself against this Astrophian trio, the Prophets of Destruction. This is a display of which only proves the great villainy that the Prophets of Destruction are capable of, employing Tombstone's wife as a means to take out Otto Von Clutch. Tombstone, who has now come to, choking out his biological son. I never thought that MK nor his coadjutors could fall any further, could be any more vile than they already were. But of course, the Son of the Morning was once one of the cherished angels as well. How far will these three fall before a reckoning comes? And he that has fallen the farthest seems to take the most pleasure in his own demise. There's no doubt in my mind that the Prophets of Destruction feel like they came away from this ring the victors. But what will DCW management do about this situation? Is this something that needs to be settled outside of the ring, or can it be settled in the confines of the squared circle? I know what I'd like to see, and the devoted faithful too, but only time will tell. As we look to our main event, let's revisit last week's footage where DCW Heavyweight Champion William Cutting received some help from Steele.
The Devotion Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, William Cutting!
This is the first time that we are hearing from the newly crowned king of DCW.
Not your champ? Who is? Who is? Manny Lemons? Wait, no? He couldn't hold on to it? Marlon Bishop? Nope. Tom Chad, Sam Adonis, they all wanted this, didn't they? Bottom line is, I this by myself.
It's the adventurer, Lola!
Without anybody's help? What about Josh? Guy you hid behind! You used and abused him. What about him?
You touch me again, and I'm gonna break your hand. I don't like when people try to steal my spotlight. Don't believe me? Ask Glade. He tried to steal my spotlight, and I had to treat him like the big, stupid dog he is.
Come on! But Josh Glade is going to come and put a stop to this. Steele coming out apparently to get William Cutting's back. Oh! The champion cuts down Josh Glade with a shot below the equator and a DDT to boot. Oh, this is gross. Come on. Oh! This is our champion. It's looking like we are in for a dark reign with William Cutting sitting atop the throne of Devotion Championship Wrestling.
Cutting? Steele? We are so sorry. We're sorry. So sorry. You see, people like me and Josh, we don't like to fight. We like to represent rainbows and unicorns, not blood and guts. Not blood and guts. But if it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. Come on, someone else. Let's go, vámonos. Bring Gemini too.
Don't go anywhere, folks, because tonight's main event is next.
Now I will kill you.
That he is dominant. Oh, and the butcher's hooks.
Popularity. What is it made of?
It's the man you are, man!
Echo loads and...
This is not a match between men.
See what makes people like one person and not another.
This is our main event. Kid Ref has called for the bell. It is sounded, and right off the bat, the DCW champ tags in his muscle, Steele. She squares up against Leviathan Josh Glade, but he seems to be in a bit of a doubt as to whether he can take her on. Instead, tags in Lola. Lola always happy and trying to make friends, but I don't think she'll make any friends with these two. Goes for a schoolboy roll-up. Steele, sturdy on her feet, slaps Lola away and looks to drop a bomb. Lola, using her bantam speed now, puts Steele into a crucifix. Steele able to get out at one. Steele looks a little bit disgusted with herself as well as Lola's doing. Lola employs La Casita. Steele gets her hand on the rope, and it is broken. Lola continuing the use of her stamina with the basement drop kick. Might just be a drop kick for Lola, I'm not really sure. But she is calling it like a toro for another. Steele able to step out of the way and puts Lola down on her back. Cutting, calling for Steele to bring Lola. A tag is made, and the DCW champion steps into the ring. The devoted faithful clearly have their choice for this match picked, but Cutting and Steele are doing everything and will do anything to prove the devoted faithful wrong in this case.
Gonna disrespect me?
Just look at your champion, folks. Disgusting. Steele holding Lola in a modified full Nelson, allowing Cutting to slam Lola against the turnbuckles. Quick tag made. In comes Steele again. Cutting making full use of his count. Now it's Steele's turn to take a run and slam Lola into the turnbuckle. Now apparently Cutting is taking his revenge out for Lola, I guess, stealing his spotlight at the opening of last week. But I wonder if it's not actually. Cutting goes for cover. 2. Lola gets out at 2. I wonder if it's not actually because he's realizing how vulnerable he is. Oh gosh. Putting in the butcher's hooks into Lola's mouth. Oh, you're the champion. And as the champion, he realizes he has a target on his back with no Josh Glade to protect him. And now, showing off his bully attitude. Don't do it, come on. No, gosh, dang it. Kickstarts Lola, and now goes for the cover. 1, 2. Lola, I've said it in the past, folks. To keep Lola down, you basically have to staple her to the mat. She's got all the fight in the world. And it's that fight in her that has got her in this predicament. Now, she was just looking out for Josh Glade last week. Oh, a midnight to 6 elbow drop down. Oh, now on the other clavicle. That is a good way to separate a couple of shoulders. Glade putting Lola back into that neck crank. Lola to her feet and strikes, Cutting in the breadbasket once, twice, now 3 times with a slap to the face in return. Cutting comes in, grabbing Lola by the throat and kicking her down into the corner. Kid Ref administering a 5 count for the safety of Lola. A left cross to the face of Glade as he was looking for a tag. And Cutting now looking to suplex Lola. proving that he doesn't care about any gender when it comes to proving a point. He floats over, now transitions into a neck breaker. This has got to be it. He goes for the cover. 1, 2, no! Lola still with more fight in her. Cutting, obviously frustrated with the moxie that Lola is demonstrating, but he still has not released. Goes for a ripcord lariat. Lola sees it coming, goes between his legs. She's got to get a tag, but first, she's gonna make a stop with a drop kick to William Cutting. But she's not finished, charges in, and Cutting dodges out of the way. Now as he charges in, gets 2 knees to the chest. Lola on the second rope, catches Cutting in an elevated head scissors and is holding onto it. And Arana throws Cutting into Steele, knocking her off of the apron. But it hasn't taken Cutting out of the game. He impedes Lola from making the tag, oh no, and sets up the anxiety attack. But Cutting didn't see on the ripcord as he was extending Lola to set up his finisher. Josh Glade tagged Lola's back. Glade, the legal man, scoops Cutting up and slams down the champion. He goes for the cover. And that's it, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Lola and Josh Glade.
With the spotlight once again stolen, our DCW champion is not going to be happy about this outcome. Folks, thank you so much for bringing us into your homes. I hope you had just as much fun watching this episode as I've had calling it. We'll be back next week, Thursday on Fight TV and on demand on YouTube. I'm the Cicerone Lauren Gardner, and until next time, stay devoted.
Now I will kill you.